there are millions of couples in the same sexual predicament that you're in.
Yeah, and don't be overwhelmed or intimidated. Making new healthy sexual choices is straightforward. And the first thing you need to do is believe that you are not stuck. You have options.
And too many women believe that they are stuck. You are not stuck. You're just committed to certain patterns of behavior because they've helped you in the past. And now those behaviors have become more harmful than helpful. And you can't move forward because you keep applying an old formula to a new level in your life. And so once you change that formula, you're going to get a different result.
That's right. If you don't like the sex you're currently having, it's time to take stock of the choices you're making before, during, and after sex, and how that is impacting how you feel about sex.
So let's use the example that we talked about earlier. Like many women, this woman resents that sex was initiated at an inconvenient time, but she feels trapped and she feels like she can't say no. This is a choice. Now, if a woman feels trapped, what new choice can she make to feel empowered?
That's it. Let's untangle this. So, first of all, understand what drives the yes or no choice. So, do you say yes because you don't want to start a fight? Or do you feel guilty because it's been a few weeks and you need to get sex off your to-do list? Or does saying no mean your partner will withhold their love and affection and act cold towards you for the next few days?
So here's where it's important to get some perspective. And this is challenging, but we need to take the emotions out of this and really look at it from a 10,000-foot view. Or another way to look at this is through your partner's perspective. So let's go with the assumption that you don't want to start another fight over sex. But if you are choosing to have sex, it's probably going to create resentment that you're doing this against your will.
Yeah, so you have to be okay with compromises. So you don't want sex in this very moment. The yes or no options for sex both carry a lot of negative fallout. And happy relationships are based on compromise. So how can you meet your partner halfway? So perhaps this is an opportunity for you to use your responsive desire, which is putting your body into the motions of sex to wake up your sexual desire and arousal.
So I want to share a little story. Can I share a story, Trina?
We love your stories, Amy.
So this, just talking about this moment, this yes or no moment, flashes me back into a time when and certainly there's been more than just this one time, but I remember very clearly this one particular time. My children were very, very small. I was exhausted, crawled into the bed at the end of the day. And my husband, reaches over, he started kind of doing the rub the leg thing that I knew. I was like, I know what that means. Yep. Right. They all have their little signals, right? We know what they want. And in that moment, my brain, my body, my everything was like, no, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. People have been touching me all day. I was probably still breastfeeding at the time. I don't even know. But everything in me said no. But my compromise, the choice that I made instead of saying no, was I turned and I looked at him and I said, motivate me.
So great. Such a great line. It's awesome.
Yes. And what my husband knew in that moment was that he had to help to wake up my mind and body. And at this point, I didn't know anything about responsive desire. I didn't know all of these terms, these things that we know now. But what I was saying was, I'm not feeling anything right now, but if you can wake up my responsive desire, if you can start doing some different things to me that will help me wake up, help my body get into the mode, then I know that my desire will show up. And that really became kind of a code that has continued throughout our marriage since then. Is there's times that he's, again, he kind of wants it, he's initiating, and I just say, well, motivate me. And I can say unequivocally that there has and this is for me, so if this is not you, that's also okay, but there has never been a time that I've asked my husband to motivate me. And within, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 minutes of just different types of kissing, touching, licking, maybe whatever happens there, that that no has turned into an absolute 100% yes.
So your compromise was to ask for something that you wanted?
Yeah. Yeah. That it was to ask for something that I wanted, right? And when you break it down like that, it seems so simple. But in that moment, it did feel like a very weighted choice because it's hard to ask for what you want. But I said, look, if you want to do this, then you have to put in some work there, buddy. And thankfully, my husband is, always game for that.
Luckily, he was very motivated.
Yes, yes. Um, and So here, what you can easily see is that when you make a new choice and you offer a compromise, if your partner wants sex now, they need to motivate and help you get in the mood for sex. And so you ask your partner to give you a massage to relax you. You ask for whatever it is that you are wanting in that moment. And if you don't know, sometimes you don't know what you want in that moment, but just asking for touch, physical affection, something like that. Motivate me.
Yeah. So I think this is just so awesome that you're shifting the perspective from, it's something I have to do to something that I will eventually want to do. And that's amazing. So to make a new choice, we often need to take a deep breath and as best you can, engage your senses and focus on having fun. Look for what feels good. And when you focus on what's going right with your sex, it's easier to make healthier and better sexual choices.
The other thing that's important is the self awareness of the choice that you're making. If you decide to make that same old choice, instead of tuning out or becoming upset, just be present and aware of the fact that you're making that old choice again. You don't need to look at that with judgment. Don't beat yourself up for that, but just being aware that what I'm doing now is making a choice versus something that you have to do. There's some power in that. So just be present with that.
I think when you cotton on that you've made the same choice that you've always made before, I think that's worth a celebration. I think you should be giving your partner a high five. You should be so happy that you figured it out. And now you know that you can make a different choice and the options are open and available to you.
Yes, it's the awareness, because that's the first step. Because when you feel stuck, you're just repeating the same cycle over and over and over again, and you don't know how to get out of it. And so then when you can identify, oh, this is the choice that I'm making, and I'm going to make the same choice today. But now you know where you can change things. And I agree, that is something to absolutely be celebrated because that is the first step towards changing things.
Find out this and so much more by subscribing to the Sensational Sx Podcast. And please grab our free gift to you. Links will be in the description. And if you like this podcast, then make sure to check out this next one coming up.